Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ioana. I am an interpreter and a polyglot, and in this series of video I am gonna record for us, for you and me, the most common stat vocabulary, that 1,000 words for you and for me to prepare for your legal exam. You're gonna see those words in the screen and I'm gonna read them. This is gonna be a video to learn those terminology together with me. Let's start. Abuse. To humiliate, degrade someone. To abuse. Abate. Abate is to reduce or make lessen. The rain poured down for a while, then abated. Abdicate, verb to give up a position, usually one of a leadership. When he realized that the revolutionaries would surely win, the king abdicated his throne. Okay. Abduct. It means to kidnap or take by force. The evildoers abducted the fairy princess from her happy home. Aberration. Something that differs from the norm. Aberration. To differs. In 1918, the Boston Red Sox won the World Series, but the success turned out to be aberration, and the Red Sox have not won the World Series since. Abet. To aid, to help, to encourage. The spy succeeded only because he had a friend on the inside to abet him. Okay, let's proceed. Abhor. To hate, to detest. Because he always wound up kicking himself in the head when he tried to play soccer, Oswald began to abhor the sport. Abhor. Abide. To put up with. Throughout he did not agree with the decision, Chuck decided to abide by it. To put up with it. Abject. Wretched, pitiful. After losing all her memory, falling into a puddle, and breaking her ankle, Elise was abject. Abject is pitiful, wretched. Very interesting. Abjure. We're studying these guys for our legal written exam. You should know those because this is exactly what they give on the test. Abjure is to reject, to renounce. To prove his honesty, the president adjured the evil policies of the wicked predecessor. Adjured, to reject, to renounce. Abnegation, denial of comfort to oneself. The holy man slept on the floor, took only cold showers, and generally followed other practices of abnegation, denial of comfort. Abort, to give up a half-finished project or effort. And also abort is related to a child taking, but as you could see, these have a different meaning. Abort, give up half-finished project. After they ran out of food, the men attempting to jump rope around the world had to abort and go home. Abridge, to cut down, to shorten. abridge. The publishers thought the dictionary was too long and abridged it. Abridged it. Moby Dick is such a long book that even the abridged version is longer than most normal books. Yes, definitely. Abridged, shortened, cut version. Abrogate, to abolish, usually by authority. The Bill of Rights assures that the government cannot abrogate our right to a free press. Abrogate again, to abolish, usually by authority. Abscond, to speak away and hide. Abscond. Very interesting. Sneak away and hide. Sorry, forgive me. In the confusion, the super spy absconded into the night with the secret plans. Very strange thing about the spies in this stud vocabulary. Okay, abscond once again, to sneak away and hide. Absolution. Absolution is freedom from blame, guilt, and sin. Once all the facts were known, the jury gave Angela absolution by giving a verdict of not guilty. Absolution is freedom from blame. Very good. Abstain, to freely choose not to commit an action, to abstain from something, not to commit. Everyone demanded that Angus put on the kilt, but he did not want to do it and abstained. Abstain is to freely choose not to commit. Abstruse, hard to comprehend. Everyone else in the class understood geometry easily, but John found the subject abstruse. Abstruse, hard to understand. Accede, to agree. This is sound like Latin. Accede, to agree. When the class asked the teacher whether they could play basketball instead of learn grammar, they expected him to refuse, but instead he acceded to their request. Accede, Alpha, Charlie, Charlie, Echo, Delta, Echo. Accede is to agree. Accede would be. Accenture, to stress, highlight. Accenture would be. Sorry, I'm trying to find out, because in English usually you don't have so much double. So accenture, to stress or highlight. Psychologists agree that those people who are happiest accentuate the positive of life. Accentuate, to stress and to highlight. Okay, let's proceed. Accessible, obtainable, reachable. After studying with Spark Notes and getting a great score on the stat, Marlena happily realized that her goal of getting into a Ivy League college was accessible. Accessible means obtainable, reachable. Acclaim, high price, acclaim. Greg's excellent poem was acclaim of his friend. Highly prized, acclaim. Accolade, high price, special destination. Everyone offered accolades to Sam after he won the Nobel Prize. Accolade, high prices. Accommodation, helpful, obliging, polite. Accommodating, helpful, polite. where all the friends were accommodating to each other. True, the apartment was not big enough for 3 people. Armon Mark were all the friends that were accommodating to each other. Accord is agreement. Finally come to a mutually beneficial accord about fishing rights. Accost, to confront verbally. Accost, confront verbally. True, Antoinette was normally quite calm when the waiter spitted soup on her. For the 4th time in 15 minutes, she stood up and accosted the man. Accost is to confront verbally. Accreditation. Slow growth in a size or amount. Accreditation, a slow growth. Stalactites are formed by accretion of minerals from the roofs of caves. I'm not so sure how it's accretion spelled. Accrescent would be probably correct. Accretion is from crescente in Italiano, in Latin basically. Accretion, slow growth by size. Acerbic or acerbic, biting, bitter, or tone of taste. Okay, one of those words specifically to bitter was in the exam, so this one you should know very well. Acerbic mean biting, bitter in tone of taste. Jill became extremely acerbic and began to cruelly make fun of all her friends. Acerbic, biting, bitter in tone or taste. Okay, let's repeat. Acerbic, biting, bitter in tone or taste. Acquiesce. To agree without protesting. Although Mr. Corell wanted to stay outside and work in a big garage, when his wife told him that he had better come in to dinner, he acquiesced to her demands. Acquiesced is to agree without protesting. Acquiesced, agreeing. Acrimony. Okay, so you remember this word. Acrimony, bitterness, discord. True, they vowed that no girl would ever come between them. Biff and Trevor could not keep acrimony from overwhelming their friendship after they both fell in love with the lovely Teresa. Acrimony, bitterness, discord, and then the other word for is acerbic. Acerbic and acrimony, synonymous. Acumen, keen insight. Because of his mathematical acumen, Larry was able to figure out in minutes problems that took other students hours. Acumen, keen insight. Acute means sharp or severe. Arnold could not walk because the pain in his foot was so acute. Having been inside because he was so acute, Larry instantly figured out how the magician pulled off his magic. Acute could be sharp, severe pain, adjective, or could mean that somebody is very good at something. Adamant. Okay, this is great one for the test. Adamant, impervious, immovable, unyielding. Through public presence was intense, the president remained adamant about his proposal. Adamant could be also a person who is firmly standing for their adamantly strong. Impervious, immovable, unyielding. Adept, extremely skilled. Tarzan was adept at jumping from tree to tree like a monkey. Very good, guys. Adhere, to stick to something. We adhered the poster to the wall with tape. He adhered to the dictates of his religion without question. Adhere could be stick to something, or to, as you see here, means that a person it's firmly adhering to a religion, firmly sticking into something without questioning. Admonished, to caution, criticize, reprove. Joe's mother admonished him not to ruin his appetite by eating cookies before dinner. Admonish is to caution, criticize, reprove. Adorn. Adorn means to decorate. You should remember this one. We adorned the tree with ornaments. Adorn, decorate. Adroit. Adroit means skillful. Dexterous. Dexterous is able, from the right hand, dextros, from Latin. So adroit means skillful, able. The adroit thief could pick someone's pocket without attracting notice. Adroit, skillful, dexterous. Adulation, extreme praise. Though the book was pretty good, Mary did not believe it deserved the adulation it received. Adulation, extreme praise. Adumbrate, to sketch out in a vague way. The coach adumbrated a game plan, but none of the players knew precisely what to do. Adumbrate, to sketch vaguely. Adverse, antagonistic, dangerous, unfavorable. Basically, adverse is not pleasant. Because of the adverse condition, the hikers decided to give up trying to climb the mountains. Advocate, to argue in a favor of something. Arnold advocated turning left at the stop sign, even though everyone else thought we should turn right. In addition to wanting to turn left at every stop sign, Arnold was also a great advocate of increasing natural defense spending. Advocating, okay. Aerial, something related to the air. We watched as the fighter planes conducted aerial maneuvers. Aerial, related to air or in the air. Aesthetic. Aesthetic means artistic, related to the appreciation of beauty. We hired Susan as our interior decorer because she was such a fine aesthetic sense. Because she has such a fine aesthetic. Aesthetic is artistic, related to appreciation of beauty. Affable, friendly, amiable. People like to be around George because he is affable and good-natured. Affable, it means friendly and like lovable. Affinity, spontaneous feeling of closeness. Jerry didn't know why, but he felt an incredible affinity for Carmen. The first time they met, affinity is feeling of being close to someone. Affluent, rich and wealthy. Mr. Grebelski was affluent, owning a huge house, 3 cars, and an island near mine. Wow. Affront. Affront is an insult. Bernardo was very touchy and took any slight as an affront to his honor. Very touchy means very sensitive, right? So Bernardo was very sensitive and he took any slight as affront to his honor, as an insult. Okay, affront, insult. Aggrandize. Okay, I think something like that was on the test. Aggrandize mean to increase or make greater. Joey's always dropped the names of the famous people his father knew as a way to aggrandize his personal stature. Aggrandize, to increase. And this was our first video, guys, for stat terminology for the legal written exam. I do hope that you enjoyed doing this with me. If you did so, do not forget to press like, share, and subscribe.